Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Welcome to the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, a show where I interview guests that teach, motivate, and inspire. Today, I am joined by self-care and personal development expert, Rita Farruggia. Rita is the CEO of the wellness e-commerce site, happywellbeing.com. Rita loves life, and her mission is to be the #1 self-care community in the world. And I tell you guys, I've taken a look at her site, and she definitely has a lot, so she could definitely do that. Rita, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Curtis, for having me. And the website is happybeingwell.com.
Yeah, I said it backwards. Sorry about that. Happybeingwell.com. Not happy well-being, happy being well. So let's start off by you telling everybody a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Yes. So I became a self-care. I'm all about self-care. And I'm a big advocate for self-care because it took me a journey to really get to a point of really appreciating, really loving myself through self-care. So it took me. And then once I started really caring for myself, and that comes in a variety of ways through, spending time alone, reflecting, being real with yourself, taking the time out to really take care of yourself, in terms of skincare and, wellness in all aspects, meditating, taking those long baths for your mental health and also your actual health, it's your mind and body are connected. So, and it wasn't until then I started really eliminating, not being a part of, not wanting to be a part of or tolerating toxic environments or toxic relationships, because I started to really enjoy my inner peace and enjoy the joy that I was bringing to myself, living in that joy and living in from a place where I can control, my emotions, direct my attention to where I can choose to dwell and spend my time in. And so, after work, I'd go home, either cook a delicious, healthy meal. Then definitely a big part of my ritual is, doing bath time, especially working in a busy corporate job. When I was in corporate, that was my quick hack to meditating and calming the nervous system down in order to de-stress, release anxiety. When you're in these corporate jobs, there's a lot of pressure sometimes, and plus there's competition, amongst coworkers, acting like sharks, for your job or whatever it is. There's always this element of stress and anxiety and pressure around you. And of course, everything, there's deadlines and stuff, so managing that. So we all can understand the pressure around that. So that was my way of coming home and literally because it relaxes the muscles, relaxes the nervous system. Because if I didn't do that, I found it, living in a place with high stress like that, coming home and it's I'm going to meditate. It was very difficult to do that. So because you are you can be mentally exhausted, right? Where it's difficult to concentrate. So all you kind of want to do is perhaps maybe just it's, a lot of people will just kind of escape mentally with Netflix, lie in bed with Netflix, behaviors like that, because it's so much more easier to do. And so, whereas I found when I would take the long baths and then putting ingredients in the baths, organic bath salts and organic bath bombs and bath oils and lighting the incense, lighting the candles, it just really amplified the relaxation. And also adding bentonite clay to the bath detoxes the body. Adding crystals, I would add crystals. I really started to learn how to build a very luxurious, enriching bath. And then that's when I would do my meditations and affirmations. And because, that was just a quick hijack for me. And, then learning about taking care of myself, through, because our skin is the biggest organ in our body, and whatever we put on our skin topically, it goes into our bloodstream. So I started researching what's 100% organic products and curating them, and started using them myself as opposed to the store-bought stuff, because a lot of them have chemicals in them that can interfere with women's hormones and affect the reproduction system, and can lead to a lot of can lead to toxic buildup in the body, which we don't want to have that buildup of toxicity in our body. And so anything that we can do to reduce the toxic load, it helps reduce brain fog. It just helps our system operate better. Right. It's we don't want to, it's like our cars. We don't want to put dirty oil in our car. The engine will clog up the engine. And so, yeah, that's been my journey to it, So, and of course, I love smelling, doing aromatherapy. It also enhances my meditation because it calms the nervous system down. Some sense even enhance your intuition, when you're trying to make a very important decision, such as sage. So, yeah, and I just call it my magical self-care because it is magic to me, because it helps me achieve clarity, it increases my frequency, because I am then able to activate peace, feeling that state of peace and joy by doing these self-care activities, and these tools and products basically amplify that. And then for all those manifestors out there, it helps amplify whatever I'm trying to manifest into my future, because then I can tap into visualizing with much more clarity. It's enhancing my mental concentration bandwidth. So I'm able to visualize vividly, within colors and vibrant details, hear noises, smell scents around the movie that I'm trying to manifest into life, so through that visualization meditation practice, which does require a high level of concentration, because the more details we can put into our visualization, the more powerful that visualization will be able to come into reality.
Talk about some of the benefits of self-care for the listeners.
So I mentioned some, right? We can be better manifestors. It's a great way to de-stress, to achieve clarity, and live from a state of joy and peace, where if you develop a habit and feeling that joy and peace within your state of being by you taking the reins and creating it for yourself, and you get used to feeling that way, you're not going to allow others to control your state into a place of frustration or anger, because you're not used to living from that place, that state. So you will be better at recognizing that they're just trying to push your buttons, trying to control you, and it's really just about them, nothing really to do with you. So you're better to ignore, kind of like Neo in the Matrix, when those bullets come at him, it just kind of totally bounces off him. That is exactly what you'll be able to do when others who are dwelling from a place of, negativity, such as jealousy or anger, insecurity, and they typically will direct that towards anybody that is high vibing. So if you are high vibing, you're basically like Neo, all of those negative vibes will just bounce right off you, not even affect your vibes. And the meditation also helps you achieve that awareness, activates that understanding of truth that, this whoever's, was it throwing shade on you is totally about them, nothing to do with you. It's just, it's nothing to react and respond to, because that's their game. Their game is to get you into the state that they dwell in, which is a state of basically fear and anger. So we don't want to live from fear and anger. We want to live from, faith, joy, clarity, peace, truth, and which all leads to an empowered state. To be able to empower you to make the right choices that leads to the right actions and leads you to be better at making decisions at a faster pace. Right. And that's where successful people, it's how they operate. They make fast decisions. They don't dwell from a state of doubting, swaying back and forth like a pendulum. Should I make decision A? Should I make decision B? Is it A or is it B? If you pay attention to any successful person, they don't typically do that. So these activities allow you to tap into that successful mind, living in that successful mind, being that successful mind, and ultimately becoming success and living more in joy.
Well, let's talk about your wellness e-commerce site. Tell us how you got to the point of starting happybeingwell.com, and tell us about the site and what listeners can expect when they visit the site.
Yeah, sure. So what led me to start happybeingwell.com was this is like always been my joy and passion, is like self-care, tapping into self-love, activating self-love, because it wasn't until I activated my self-love through self-care that I was able to walk away from toxic environments and toxic relationships, in order to live, who Rita really is, right? Live my truth and be empowered and not live from a place of, I guess fear of perhaps losing, because typically when people stay in these toxic, whether they be relationships or, other environments, there's typically they stay due to the fear of uncertainty of what would happen once that, you lose that, what's going to happen next type of thing. Right. So when I tapped into self-love through self-care and experiencing what I was able to provide to myself, it was it's like a reflex. You no longer want to dwell in toxicity, whether that be people or environments. So your vibe changes, and therefore you start attracting other people that are high vibing as well. And that's exactly what happened. So I was working in corporate for a number of years and in marketing, and I was always into personal development. I was the type of girl, during lunchtime meetings at the digital marketing agency that I'd worked at, I would run meditation groups during lunchtime in the office and stuff like that. So I was always the girl bringing, wellness practices into the space. And so I was just always all about wellness in my off time. And I, wanted to fuse my two passions and my two skill sets of marketing and wellness together. And also when I was embarking on my skincare journey, I was always asking my friends, what are you using? And, and I remember running into some people were doing these skincare MLMs, and I would try them and they just didn't I was shocked at the products, shocked at the ingredients. Some of them had alcohol in them, which, dries out not the greatest for your skin. I always stay away from alcohol in my skincare products, or, they would say natural, but they would have other ingredients in there that were not natural. So I wasn't happy with what I was finding. It was a really big journey for me, actually, to find really good skincare so anyways, I ended up finding, really good skincare. And I thought to myself, why don't I just, curate everything that I love and cherish, that I I cherish so much as a part of my daily routine and curate it all into one site and kind of inspire more women to take care of themselves, through taking those VIP luxury baths, like I mentioned. It's a quick, everyone should experience a long hot bath. It's like so magical because it immediately relaxes your nervous system and your muscles. And it makes it more magical with what you put in the bath to amplify the health effects and benefits of that and mental wellness. And also tools to amplify your yoga and meditation practice, and of course, organic products for your skin and, organic deodorant, 100% organic natural deodorant, 100% natural facial masks, so that you're not nothing is entering your bloodstream and increasing your toxic buildup in your body that can lead to a number of things, such as, interfering with your hormones and brain fog and headaches and bad sleep and a whole host of other issues. So that's what led to me building happybeingwell.com.
Well, I know you kind of mentioned some of the things that you have on there, but you said that you have like over 1,000 items and you really have a lot on there, and it's broken down into sections. Just kind of go over those type of sections that you have and let listeners kind of get an idea of what's on the site.
Yeah, sure. So there's women's activewear, there's leggings, there is candles, natural candles. A lot of them are soy based. There's inspirational t-shirts under women's clothing. There's water bottles, all under the gear section. And, we have a natural home section where we offer 100% organic natural room sprays. We have aromatherapy diffusers. We have some natural kitchen supplies, such as, crystal kitchen platters. So people that are into crystals and want high vibe frequencies into their home, they no longer just have to have purchased an actual crystal they can hold in their hand, for meditation purposes. They can also incorporate it into their home decor, such as kitchen platters and bookends. And we also have crystal candle holders as well. So you can place your gorgeous candle in the candle holder that is made up of crystal to amplify, frequencies such as like amethyst or citron. Clear quartz. Clear quartz is a great crystal for achieving clarity and amplifying the frequencies of the other crystals in your home. We have gorgeous preserved roses that you can have as your home decor to, increase those high good vibes, so that, for people that don't always rush into the store to get fresh roses all the time, you can have a beautiful preserved roses. And we have salt lamps, and we've got essential oils. We have a large selection of 100% natural essential oils, and we have natural soaps and natural bath bombs, bath salts, and we have robes and natural deodorants, natural toothpaste as well. We have a lot, and and
you
crystals.
Certainly do.
Yeah. And natural remedies as well. We have natural remedies for stress and anxiety and sleep. People have issues with sleep. So, we have a lot. So,
well, I know you say that your mission is to be the #1 wellness community in the world. So what current or upcoming projects are you working on right now that people need to know about?
Well, right now we have a blog series where we showcase yoga. We're showcasing yoga instructors. Like right now they're in the California, Florida area. If you're looking for some great yoga instructors where either you're looking for, joining their classes or working one-on-one with them on Zoom, or, them coming to your home, if you live in their areas and their regions, you can click on our blog section and read up on some of the yoga instructors that we have featured through our Q&A sessions. And we have a free resources section where people can download for free a free self-care journal with 50 journal prompts, meaning very vital, important questions for you to answer to guide you to your clarity, your self-discovery, tapping into your passions and activating you to a higher level of awareness and leading you to taking action, to inspire you to take action and committing to a self-care ritual practice. We have an amazing podcast. Happy Being Well podcast is on Spotify and Apple iTunes, where we have amazing transformation people that are experts in transformation, talk about all about their self-love and self-care journey and their strategies to self-love and self-care. And so those are some of the stuff that we have going on. Yeah.
Well, throw out your full contact information. I know happybeingwell.com, but give us social media links, and that way people can connect with you.
Yeah, sure. So on Instagram, it is instagram.com/happybeingwell. And the Instagram handle is happybeingwell. And on Facebook, it is facebook.com/happybeingwell. And the handle there is Happy Being Well as well. So those are the two social media links they can find me on.
Okay, that makes it easy. Happy Being Well. Can you give us some final thoughts to close it out?
Yeah, sure. So I know, especially as women, there's many women are mothers and wives and holding down full-time, careers, full-time jobs in their careers. So it's really easy to put everybody else ahead of our needs, our loved ones and such, because we're nurturers by heart. But, we really do need to understand that committing to a self-care practice, for me, I remember I discovered a really quick, hack, a time-saving hack is, for me, I love my skincare time. And it's another way to hack into calming my nervous system down. So in the mornings when I do my skincare routine and I apply my 100% organic facial, one of my favorite ones is the Rasu clay mask. It's all of our 100% organic facial clay masks are amazing. But the Rasu clay mask is very 100% organic, so it's just naturally going to be very soothing as you apply it on your skin and rub it into your skin. And I take that time, since I'm looking in the mirror, to say my affirmations. So one of my favorite affirmations that I say that will typically apply to any day or week is typically you change your affirmations depending on the goal of the day or the week. I typically will say, every day in every way I'm getting better and better. And so that is one way I can incorporate my affirmations as I'm doing my skincare routine. And then as I'm allowing my facial clay mask to dry, because typically you have to leave it on for, 15, 20 minutes, I'll apply crystals on my neck and I'll hold them in my hands, and I'll even put them on my forehead to feel the energy of the crystals to amplify my meditation while lying in bed while waiting for my facial clay mask to dry. So I'm also, putting in that meditation time in the morning. So there's just one quick time-saving hack to get in your affirmation, meditation, and skincare routine in the morning, taking a total of literally just 20 minutes. And you're literally accomplishing 3 things with one step down.
Ladies and gentlemen, happybeingwell.com. Make sure you check out the site and check out all the wellness products that Rita has to offer. Also, be sure to follow, rate, review, share this episode to as many people as possible. And Android listeners, go to the Google Play Store and download the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast app. Rita Farruggia, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Curtis. I absolutely enjoyed being on your podcast.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.